7 German divisions up there. 3 of them were Panzer divisions, and we were one under Strength Parachute Division. But I was a machine gunner, and my foxhole was about like 4 miles out of town here, where we were dug in along the ridges there.
Usually fine.
And my sergeant says, "Hey, you're nice and small and fast. Run back into town to get the batteries for the radio." And I said, "Thank you very much. You know, they're all nice in the foxhole, and I got to run there with the bombs and everything landed." But I come back into town to see my friend. My friend had gotten hit in both legs. And the Germans had already captured the field hospital, so the wounded, we had no place to put the wounded. And so on the floor of the church, you know, where the church is here in town, the wounded are laying on the floor of the church. They had no blankets. We went into the houses, and we pulled all the curtains and bedspreads, whatever we could find to wrap the wounded in. And my friend is laying there, and I said, "Joe," his name was Joe Willis. "Joe Willis, how you doing?" He said, "You know," he said, "nothing there. A couple of pieces of shrapnel in my leg." He said, "I'll be out of here in a couple of days." And I said, "Well, okay, Joe, listen, I got to go back. Can I do anything for you before I leave?" He said, "Yeah, go find me something to drink." I said, "Joe, where the hell am I going to find you something to drink? We're surrounded and cut off. There's no supply." He said, "Go look in the taverns." I said, "Joe, they're all bombed out." Yeah, go look anyway. So I walked out of the church and down the road there, and there was a tavern on the right-hand side. And I went in the tavern, and, you know, broken glass, everything. There was nothing there. Down to the next tavern. And when I went to where the beer, right? Yeah. And I pulled the beer handle, and beer came out. I took off my helmet. You know, the same helmet that in the foxhole you use. I filled it up with beer. I go back to the church. I said, "Hey, Joe, I got some beer." He said, "Oh, shut up." He sat up, and I'm pouring beer. And, "Hey, give me some of that." "Hey, give me some of that." You know, like an old cow, I was feeding those guys. Beer, yeah. I ran out.
Yeah, you ran out, yeah.
He said, "Go get some more." Damn right. Go down to the tavern, fill up my helmet again, go back to the church, and standing in the doorway of the church is the regimental surgeon, like this. No, major. I'm a private. He said, "What the hell are you doing, soldier?" I said, "Sir, giving aid and comfort to the wounded." He said, "You stupid jackass, don't you know I got chest cases and stomach cases in there? You give him beer, you'll kill him. Get out of here before I have you shot." I said, "Yes." I put the helmet on, the beer, put it on. Running down the street there.
Yeah.
And, you know, end of the story. The war went on.
Yeah.
65 years later, for the first time I came back to Bastogne to see that. I had never been here before. And I meet Marco Killian and Johnny Bona. And they said, you were the GI here? I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, man," he said, "who were you with?" I said, "H Company, 501. He said, "Oh," he said, "we will show you. We know everything about the war. We'll show you where you were dug in and so." They took me to where we were dug in and found my foxhole, where I was a machine gunner during the attack. And they, you know, there was snow all over the place then, and 65 years later, you know, to see all this stuff. But
You took it out.
where my machine gun foxhole was, I said, "Jesus, really, am I standing on the spot here where, as a kid, 19 years old?" I said, "No, wait a minute. if this is my foxhole, there's got to be a foxhole over there and one over here for the riflemen. They always put 2 riflemen to protect the machine gun nest. And he said, yeah, look, it's filled in, but you could see the... And damn it, there was the... Jesus, this is the place. And I said, no, wait. Where I was that morning, there was a stream. Because I remember breaking the ice and filling my canteen before the mist came up there, and the German 88s had opened up. And he said, yeah, it's there. You just can't see it because of the grass. Come over here. And we went over there.
And you see it?
And there was the damn stream, so I knew then that was where I was. And then what came back to me, I had my daughter was with me, was that morning, the first attack that they made, the first frontal attack that the Germans made, the mist had just come up off the snow, and the German tanks were on both sides, and where they were dug in, we were here, the ground sloped down and then up again, and in the little valley there was barbed wire fences that they didn't know about.
Okay.
We didn't know it either.
Yeah.
The snow had everything was covered.
Yeah.
And the first wave of Germans comes up, and they run into the fences. And you get tangled up.
Yeah.
So we're dying. The lieutenant said, not yet, not yet, not yet. The second wave of Germans come up and trying to help their buddies get off the fence. And no, not yet, not yet, not yet. The third wave comes up, and now you got knots of men all trying to struggle in the damn snow and so on. And we opened up, and my God, it was a slaughter. They never tried that frontal attack again. The snow turned red. And I broke down, hey, when you're an old man, your emotions are, and I just felt that whole damn scene there and so on. And my daughter pulled me out and said to Martha, look, my father's seen enough today, let's go back to town. So we go back to town, and we sat down and we went to the Leo here. And I ordered 3 bottles of wine. I said, I'm going to change the mood here. And we gotta, I want to get happy. Because that's too much of that killing. So we're drinking the wine and getting happy and start to talk and tell stories. And Marco tells some stories, and then I told them the story about the beer. And they're going like this. You were the GI who brought beer in his helmet to the wounded? I said, yeah. They said, you, during the war, you took beer in your helmet and gave it to the wounded?
Yeah, how many?
I said, yeah. They said, don't you know you're famous in Europe? I said, what the hell are you talking about?
This is a famous story.
They said, waiter, come here. Bring us 4 bottles of airborne beer. The waiter comes. Got 4 bottles of beer and 4 bowls, ceramic bowls in the shape of a helmet. And the label on the bottle shows a paratrooper with beer feeding the wounded. They had made a beer. They didn't know the story was true. They thought it was just a rumor. But they made
beer and unlabeled.
I'll show you. I got a picture. They made airborne beer right here in Bastogne.
Oh, okay.
And they said, we all thought it was a story, a lie. But it's true. Here. Can you see the label?
Yeah, I see.
Oh yeah. And any place you go, Bastogne, you can buy
beer,
airborne beer. And who's on the label of the beer?
Yeah. This is Speranza. That was a nice story.
That's the end of the story.
Yeah, great story.
Yeah, and those 2 books. If you could open them up, I got them out of Hitler's Eagle's Nest.
Yeah.
That? Oh, that banner, that's the parade banners, you know, the big ones that they hang over the
banners,
balcony.
Yeah, yeah.
When we got to Birch's Garden, I see this banner hanging over the balcony, and I said to the guys, hey, listen, hold off, I want to get that banner,
I want to
get a souvenir. So I didn't go in the door, I climbed up the balcony because we didn't know what the hell was in there. And you know, like you see in the movies where the referee kicked the door in and go in, and there's nobody. And I went to the other rooms, and nobody. And then I hear a noise over here, and I pull the door open, and here's a little old fat guy like this, with his wife over here, and a bunch of little kids. 9 Schussen, 9 Schussen, 9 Schussen. I said, I'm not going to shoot you, I just want to get the banner. He said, we're not Nazis. By the way, there wasn't a Nazi in all of Germany when we got there. Not one. Every one of them, they were always against Hitler. But once he found out that I only wanted the banner, he said, oh, and he and his wife went in there and they started pulling all kinds of stuff to give me, like knives with the Nazi stamps on them. And I said, I just want to take that thing. And I took that banner.
And is that the flag?
That's it right there.
Okay.
And before I left, my guys all, I had them sign it, you know.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of names on there.
Yeah.
About 4 years ago, I finally found one of my friends who said, hey, Vince, he said, you remember when we got that banner, we all signed it and so on and so on? I said, yeah. He said, you still got it? I said, yeah. He said, are our names all on it? I said, no. My wife didn't like the way it smelled and she washed it. Can you imagine my house, a Nazi banner hanging on the clothesline? And all the names had come off because there was no...
Yeah, those nice stories.
Those books have all pictures of, you know, black and white photos of the Hitler in the early days and the beer hall putsch, you know. And when you see the adoring crowds and they're all saluting, so, you know, they were not Nazis, not really. But on the wall, and if I had had the presence of mind, I'd be a millionaire today, was a map. Big map, 3 by 5. It was a map of the world. And it was in 3 different colors of how the Germans and the Japanese and the Italians were going to divide up the world. Germany was to get all of Europe, down to, including the Ukraine, of Russia, and the United States and Canada up to the Rocky Mountains. Italy was to get Africa and South America, and the Japanese were to get all of Asia, and the United States and Canada up to the Rockies, the West Coast. And the thing had markings on it. It was in German. I didn't know what it said. But that map today would be worth... Nah, I didn't take it. I just left it on the wall there. Oh, I got one more story. You see this picture right here? You see that guy and his wife there?
Yeah.
Sitting on the couch. His name is Dr. Gouvert.
Dr. Gouvert.
He was here during the war. After we were surrounded, a lot of the civilians couldn't get out, you know.
Okay.
And he and his wife and kids, a bomb had hit their house. And they were standing out in the street all crying, their house was destroyed. And I was here like this, talking to people like you. And this guy walks up and he says, are you Vincent? I said, yeah. He said, are you Vincent who was here during the war? And I said, yeah. And he got tears in his eyes, he came in and he hugged me. He said, I'm Dr. Gouvert. My father was Dr. Gouvert who was here during the war.
Okay.
He said he died 11 years ago.
Okay.
He said, and